52 wins, the 12th ranked offense, the 5th ranked defense, the 7th best net rating, and a 7-game series with the Golden State Warriors. That is what the Houston Rockets just did last season. Since then, they have traded for Kevin Durant, signed Dorian Finney-Smith and Clint Capella, and Amen Thompson, Reed Shepard, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Şengün, and Tari Eason are only going to get better next year. In the least corny way possible, I think it's fair to say, Houston, we have a problem. Okay, that was the most disgusting thing I've ever said. Almost as disgusting as the Rockets' depth for next season, because just take a look at this team. I told you they had the 2nd best record in the NBA last year, right? Did I tell you they traded their worst starter for a top 10 player in the NBA? I think we should talk about that, because whilst Dorian Finney-Smith is an incredible role player to sign, and Capella adds some really nice depth, Kevin Durant, you know who he is. If anything, I think at this stage in his career, Kevin Durant is underrated. Over his last 2 seasons, playing for an incredibly dysfunctional Suns team, he's averaged 27 points per game, over 6 boards, and nearly 5 assists on 52, 42, 85 shooting splits, while averaging over a block a game and nearly a steal a game as well. And when you compare that to the player they traded in Jalen Green, less points, less rebounds, less assists, worse field goal percentage, worse 3-point percentage, and let me check, much worse defense. And that's actually where I want to start, the defense. I think every single person knows Kevin Durant is a pretty good offensive player. I mean, he sleepwalks his way into 25 points a game on nearly 50, 40, 90 every single season. The pull-up jumper of dreams, the best mid-range shooter ever. That guy is an absolute monster offensively. There are no questions about that. There never will be. He could play another 10 years giving you 20 points a game. But the Rockets built this team on defense. The reason they were so successful last year was because of the grittiness, the intensity, the energy they played with on defense. And at 37 years old, some people might question if Kevin Durant can match those physical demands. If he can still bring that same energy and effort on defense, I'm here to tell you, this is the most underrated part of his game. He will absolutely bring defensive help. Just look at him here against Kevin Porter Jr., who tries to get deep in his bag, crossing one way back the other way into the step back jumper, and look at the ground KD covers to block the step back. Or if that's not impressive enough, how about against Donovan Mitchell? Just look at him stick with him the entire way. And even when Mitchell creates that little bit of separation, it's the length from KD to block Mitchell on the floater. Or this time against Anthony Edwards on an island, with Ant sizing him up. Look at KD get into a stance as Ant goes past him and swipe it from him to force the miss. You just saw him go up against 3 incredibly shifty guards and get a stop on every single one of those possessions. And that isn't even his best attribute as a defensive player. He is 7 foot. We all know that. Well, he tries to tell us he's not, but we all know he is, and the reason I mention that is because of his rim protection, his ability to help over as the low man and block shots. Just look here, where the screen gets set, and as Schroeder finds him underneath the hoop, look at the help defense from KD using that length to meet him at the rim. He is going to be perfect defensively next to Alpi. The improvements Alpi made last year defensively are only going to be magnified playing alongside someone that can block shots, can move his feet on the perimeter, and defend at such a high level. And this is why KD is such an incredible signing. Everything he does is additive, without mentioning the fact Houston are losing their worst defender from last year in Jalen Green. Remember when OKC traded Josh Giddey, and everyone talked about it being addition by subtraction? Well, Jalen Green had that kind of season for the Rockets. I know people love him, so they might be offended by that, but every single metric suggests this team was significantly better without Green on the floor, and you were effectively straight up replacing all of his touches and shots with one of the most efficient scorers ever. And I guess we should briefly touch on Kevin Durant's scoring. I think almost the perfect encapsulation of the difference is this graphic by NBA University. Look at Kevin Durant's mid-range percentage, and then look at Jalen Green's. That is a near 20% increase. He is a better three-point shooter, he is a better mid-range shooter, he is better at getting to the rim, he is a better passer, he is better off the ball, he is better on the ball. This is not me trying to slander Jalen Green, I mean it's Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is better at all of those things than pretty much everyone in NBA history. And when you add him to your team without giving up any of your best players, well, you turn into a championship contender. And the only part of this deal that looked slightly detrimental to Houston was losing some of the physicality and defensive toughness from Dillon Brooks. Now this is where Raphael Stone and the Rockets cooked.
When I talk to people around the league, they say the Hawks and the Rockets are cooking.
They cooked indeed. Dorian Finney-Smith is just an even better version of Dillon Brooks. He might not get in as many fights as Dillon Brooks, but don't let that deceive you. He is a better defender, he is a better shooter, he doesn't need the ball as much, he's actually a very solid playmaker because he has had to play in those 4-on-3 situations a lot of his years with Luka Doncic. This is a guy that is perfect for winning. And I know on-off numbers aren't everything, but last year the Nets were plus 12 points better with him on the floor. The Lakers were plus 13 and plus 9 in the playoffs, and this has been a consistent theme throughout his career. He is one of the most underrated role players of this decade, and the Rockets got him for nothing. And you could argue there is a bit of an overlap with his skill set for a team that already has KD, Jabari Smith Jr., and Tari Eason, but like I just mentioned, worst case, you could trade him and get another asset in return. He is a positive asset that teams will always be looking to take a chance on because of his skill set. But Dorian Finney-Smith contributes to winning no matter where he goes. He is that good. And in addition to all of this, they signed Clint Capella as well, who isn't the player he used to be, and Hawks fans will tell you he's absolutely washed, but I think that's a bit unfair because Atlanta were asking him to do more than he should be doing, starting most of the games last year, someone who had injuries last year, but as a second, sometimes even a third backup center alongside Şengün and Adams, and we've seen Şengün be able to play with another big. If he's only asked to play 15 to 20 minutes a night, catch lobs, protect the rim, be an absolute monster on the glass, he's going to be a fantastic signing. This is someone who's just going to add more depth and make this team even more physically dominant. If you had any questions over what the Houston Rockets were trying to do, they are trying to bully you. They want to beat you up. They want to physically impose their will on you. Clint Capella, Steven Adams, Kevin Durant, Tari Eason, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Şengün, Amen Thompson. This is a team that is going to be physically intimidating, and Clint Capella just adds to that physical element of this team. And I haven't even mentioned the internal development. Aside from Kevin Durant, this could be the biggest factor for the Rockets. If the Rockets were to change nothing this offseason, they should have won more games just based off the fact Amen Thompson is going to get better, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Şengün, Tari Eason, and the wild card, Reed Shepherd, the 3rd overall pick in last year's draft, the best shooter from that draft, someone who averaged 20 points a game in the 3 games he started for Houston last year. This is someone who will need opportunities, but if he gets the right opportunities, he could be an absolute spark plug off the bench to add on top of everything they already have. The Houston Rockets are absolutely stacked, and the Western Conference, you know what, the entire NBA should be terrified.